Well, hello racing fans, and welcome to our Gallop TV preview show for Sunday the 18th, where we race at Turffontein on the inside track. Yeah, supposed to have been racing at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth as well, but of course we all know the inclement weather down in Cape Town, and it looks to be causing some serious problems. But we'll have Turffontein, Alistair, as we welcome Alistair Cohen, our analyst there. Yeah, just unfortunate about Kenilworth and that part of the world. They're having lots of rain there.
Yeah, Dees, good morning to you. Good morning to all the viewers. Standalone Turffontein card, where one or two races do look quite appetizing, but there's some that could throw a spanner in the works. With regard to Cape Town, I was obviously in Port Elizabeth on Friday, spoke to a lot of the guys that are based there, some of the jockeys and some of the staffs, and they say they haven't seen rain like that in the Western Cape for a long time. To an extent where here we are a few days out, and they're saying that Tuesday's meeting at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth has to be a big question mark. They're unsure that will even take place. The water table's so high. They've had stacks of rain, about 8 days consistently of rain, at times heavy rain as well. And it's amazing how everything turns around. About 5 years ago, they were desperate for every drop of rain they could get. And now they're not drops of rain. They're puddles all over Cape Town, even at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, where, you know, it's renowned for handling rain and water a lot better than any other track in the country. So it's just absolutely crazy what's going on. And I hope that all those down in Cape Town are okay after all the rain. Obviously an issue that people in Durban had not so long ago.
Yeah, I must concur with your comment about the drainage. I think it's world class and no doubt the best in the country at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. Race number 1 doesn't form part of the exotics. We've got 9 races carded, so we're going to get straight into it. And as always, betting from Hollywoodbets, number 1, Babylon at 6-1. I see number 6, Happy and Nearly at 7-2. 7 is a 6-10 shot. The filly, Wait for Green Light, the daughter of Gimme the Green Light. Yeah, see, this race is called the 4 Racing Thanks and Appreciates Fabian Habib Racing Stable. So this could be fitting, Alistair, that he's got the favourite in the race, who's priced up in the red, and she could be in the right race. Of course, you know, there are unknowns with these first-timers, though.
And there's not much to get excited about with the first-timers here. These, none of the 4 make too much appeal. As far as jockey arrangements and breeding is concerned, and also yards not really known to ready them up first time out. But still watch the market, because I don't think it'll take a superstar to be dangerous here from the first timer department. But of those that have raced number 7, Wait for Green Light, it's a very clear standard. Samanga Kamala takes her out to Fabian Habib. Even though she was well beaten by No Filter last time, you know, she still ran a good race in behind. No Filter was all the rage on that day. And she, to be fair on paper, couldn't possibly lose, even though I made a case for her not being the right price. That was pretty foolish at the end of it all. But number 7, Wait for Green Light, simply has the best form on offer. Happy and Alia has got 3 1/4 lengths to turn around, and Breath of Magic just has improvement to make. So unless one of the first timers on, to be fair, they'll have to be okay to trouble Wait for Green Light, but I'm not too sure they will be. I think number 7, Wait for Green Light, has got an open gate to get out the maidens in race 1.
That's it. Race number 1 and horse number 7, the strong favourite, should oblige for the punters of the top one. Then we move along to the start of the bipod, which is race number 2. And it is Father's Day, Alistair. I see it now, and it's a reminder for me. So if you're watching the show, happy Father's Day. Over 1,000 meters. It's a juvenile plate for fillies. And again, betting from Hollywoodbets, number 5, Manhunter, adds at 28-10. Number 6, Princess Lola. Well, there's a market mover from Hollywoodbets, 8-1 into 6-1. And we thank the guys for disseminating that information to us. 8 is at 4-1, and then it's double figures, the balance. By the way, number 1 is at 5-2, and number 2, Demi Star, is at 5-1. You know, Alistair, I don't know how they go about getting these comments, but I would presume that somebody from the department, because I haven't chatted to anybody from Computer Form about how they do this, but I would presume that they got a designated person that gets a hold of a trainer and just gets a comment for runners coming off a long break, and of course the first timers. And sometimes I see there's no comment. Well, that's obviously they don't get hold of the trainer. But use it, don't use it, you know, it is a guide, and the trainers have to be thanked for actually picking up the phone and giving the guys these comments. I say this because The very interesting comment here in race number 2 is for horse number 5, Manhunter. If you go to the index of the book, of the computer form, that's the form guide I'm using. And Jaap Visser says, new predator, very speedy, very strong, expecting a massive run. I like that type of comments from a small stable that's possibly got a very nice horse on their hands.
I hope for the Fissers that they have a nice horse in the form of Manhunter. That comment definitely is something to take note of. But then you also wonder, from a small stable, what do they have to line Manhunter up with? So, you know, obviously I think you got to respect that when you're playing your bar pots. I don't think it's going to be a straightforward race. The only first timer that I've heard about in this race, number 6, Princess Lola. But I would have also taken the start, without knowing anything about Princess Lola, I would have taken the stance that she'll need a bit further, being by Royal Mo out of a national emblem mare. I'd expect her to be most effective over 1,400 to a mile. So, you know, but there is a little bit of talk for number 6, Princess Lola. So expect a nice run, if not. Look, the word wasn't will win. The word wasn't number 6, Princess Lola, have a full go, but expecting number 6, Princess Lola, and this is the official word, expecting Princess Lola to run a very, very nice debut and think that she can do very well and impress everybody. It's a maiden with a lot of angles here, Dee. There's a few things to consider. The scratching of number 7, Sahara Dawn, I don't know if it makes it any easier or any harder. Probably a little bit easier, being by Pomodoro out of a well-performed family mare that was best over a mile. Number 6, Damostar, I thought the last run, even though according to lengths, was beaten 6 lengths by Dolcezza, the second horse came out and won. That's David Evenezen's horse, No Filter. And Dolcezza ran a ripper in the listed Debonair Stakes at Hollywoodbets Greyville just over a week earlier. First run for Tyrone Zaki. You know, Tyrone, I wouldn't really want to pigeonhole him as a trainer of stayers, but you would be more confident taking his horse when they go 2,000 meters plus. Now, this is a full sister to Feather Boa, number 2, Damostar. Nobody's told her that. Maybe Tyrone will. Samango Kamalo takes her out at number 2, Damostar. Pointers, I think that she'll run her best race on Sunday. And then number 1, Contra Fiscum, on a line through No Filter. And with the improvement factor to come, number 1, Contra Fiscum could very well finish in front of number 2, Damostar, because Damostar finished about 5 lengths behind No Filter in the run behind Dolcezza, actually a little bit more. And Contra Fiscum was 6 lengths behind and doing her best work late. Back to 1,000 meters, I would have expected her to take a step up in distance after that first run. But all in all, number 1, Contra Fiscum does find a pretty shallow maiden to potentially win her maiden this time around. So I think numbers 1, 2, and 6 are the horses to be very mindful of in race number 2. And also those comments about Manhunter are also noteworthy.
Yeah, talking about that horse of Roy Magna, I just want to read the comment out. We read it out for Jaap Visser. Roy Magna's comment on number 6, horse that's been supported. Nice filly, but will need the experience. But the horse has been back from 8 to 1 into 6 to 1. And by the way, number 9, Fatam Laffy, was beaten 9 lengths. That was just the other day on the 13th of June behind Jason. So we're on to the place accumulator now. Race number 3, 1,600 meters, and this is a juvenile plate for fillies, and this is how they're betting at the time of recording. Number 1 at 6 to 1. I can't split these two horses. Numbers 5 and 6, they're very close in the betting market. 5 is at 17 to 10, and 6 is at 18 to 10. Then we go on to number 8, Shilpa's Moon, at 4 to 1. Yeah, when you look at this race, you know, of course, we know that number 8, Shilpa's Moon, has been the distance, but you're going to have to take a stance on whether you're using the pedigree as a yardstick or the way you've seen these horses race, on which horse is going to appreciate the extra distance more than the other, Alistair. And do you have a preference between numbers 5 and 6?
I don't have much of a preference for this race, but it's for the right reasons. It's not that I think it's a bad field by any stretch of the imagination. I think that this could be a pretty warm race at the end of it all. Just going back to Bar and Boots at the number 8, Shilpa's Moon. Now, the place accumulator is my suggested bet. And Shilpa's Moon got beaten by stable companion Ivy League last time out. And I quite like Shilpa's Moon. And Bar in the winning interview came down heavily on Brandon Bailey and myself, saying, guys, Ivy League was always the right one. is moved in about 10 days' time, and that's the race that I'm going for. And it's one of those that you wish you knew before, but now we do know. But I think Jilpa's Moon coming against two very progressive horses, in fact, three progressive horses, that will also appreciate the mile and have probably been looking at this place in the program for a while. Number 5, Katira, you remember the mother, a typical Sean Torrey move, trained the father, trained the mother, which stayed all day. She was a 2-time Oaks winner. Can you believe that? That was her claim to fame. And then out of the run to Mia Fiore, winners include Spirit Princess, that came out and won, and also Have a Party, who was well behind Kitsera. She came out and won. She dislodged Muzi Yeni at Turffontein on Thursday, unfortunately, Have a Party. I think Kitsera is coming along the right way. I'd expect her to be more of a 3-year-old than a 2-year-old, but at least now she's had the 2 runs under the belt as opposed to the 1. And Keegan DeMello takes over from Donald Geertsen. So that's got to be something to note. And then number 6, Lady Chatterley, on debut. There was no talk for her, but I thought she ran a nice race. And being out of a staying family on the mare's side and coming out of draw 1, Simongo Kamala riding for Mike de Kock and Vultebor script, i.e. Sparkling Water. Number 6, Lady Chatterley, is a horse that I wouldn't be prepared to run loose. So I think it's quite a complex race, because if you want to add to that, number 1, Azalea's Ball looked the part going down to the start on debut, and she ran nicely behind Law of Success. I'd like to see her confirm that, because Law of Success was a long-time maiden. And then number 7, Naka Island, is a half-sister to Rarotonga Rose, who only became a racehorse over further. So I don't think she'll win the race, number 7, Naka Island, but I think she'll step up further after that last run where she was beaten 6 1/4 lengths behind Sparkling Jubilee. 5 to beat 6, 8 worth consideration, but in my PA I've gone 5 and 6 here, and that's my suggested bet, which, by the way, I'm now 2 from 3 in the last 7 days in suggested bets on the Gallop TV. So in form, long may it continue.
Yeah, I must agree with you on number 7, Naka Island, just on the pedigree. You know, although the horse is not in single figures, one to consider. Maybe not now, as Alistair mentioned, 1,600 meters plus, but that's the horse that catches my eye on pedigree, so that will go into everything. Number 7, Naka Island. Then on to the start of the big one, the pick 6. You need to get your bets on by 13:45. It's Sunday. Happy Father's Day it is. 1,600 meters. You want to try and get this big one, because I think it's worth money. Let's see how they're betting here. Number 3 at 7 to 1. 5 at 7 to 1. 6 at 7 to 1. 7 at 9 to 2. 10 at 5 to 1. And then 11, Play with Fire. That's trading at 4 to 1. Yeah, I think the way I'd like to sum this race up, Alistair, is this way. Going with the rule, if it's more than half the field, it's the field. Can we narrow this down to 5 horses for the pick 6? Because if we can't, then I'm looking at the field here.
D's Banker.
Yep.
Banker, number 10, the front line. I like it too much.
That is
Does that help you?
Confident talk. I mean, that doesn't help, but I mean, that saves me a lot of money. And I'm sure saves the viewers a lot of money, because if I was going to multiply the per amount by 11 here, I mean, I'll be dividing it by 11 now, Alistair.
Let's go with number 10, the front line here, D's. Draw 1. There was a lot of money and a lot of talk for him last time, and he was still wet behind the ears. I think let's go back to his debut behind Prince of Green. Prince of Green ran just behind Lucky Lad once upon a time, but the Prince of Green maiden form has got to be one of the most impressive maiden juvenile form lines on the half belt, because 2nd was White Pearl, winner. 3rd was Just Val, winner. 5th was My Soulmate, and not just a winner on Thursday. She absolutely smashed him. And then well in behind, a horse called Super Awesome, even though hasn't won, is very, very close to winning. And the 4th horse, Mocha Frappe, a lot of punters in Joburg are waiting for him to come out and run from the Alec Laird stable. So that is, and it wouldn't be, you'll know Robbie Sage quite well, it wouldn't be Robbie Sage's style to get them right and ready first time out, especially from that draw. Second time out, all the talk, beaten by Majestic Touch. Again, I'm of the opinion that there were some nice horses around Majestic Touch and the front line on that occasion. I think going a mile by Lancaster Bomber out of a strong American mare from draw 1, I think that he's improving quickly enough, improving at the right time. and I think the front line will get it right today. If you look at Leo Alado, the front line was just behind Just Bar. Leo Alado was 3 lengths behind Just Bar. I think that puts them safely in behind. Galador, number 4 on the card, that will be my swinger horse. I think that could improve over a mile. Last run behind the much better Jerusalem Rain, obviously of a high quality. So Galador, I think, there's a chance. Camo watched him closely on debut. He could also step up, but I think that the 73-day break, I thought he was very tender first time out. So I think that he's got the same as High Kingfisher. Even though well beaten by We Are the Logans last time, not space blinkers might make a difference. But I find chinks in all the armors with every horse except number 10, the front line. I'm confident these. I'm going to put my head down.
I am going to go all in with you here, and I'll tell you why, because I've written down comments on so many horses in this race, and now that you've told me that you're strong on this horse, number 10, the front line, I'm actually doing this. I'm scratching all these comments out of all these other runners. That's it. And I'm going banker, number 10. Boom. So that's it. We all in here. Gallop TV, fans, racegoers, punters, we got our banker. And come this Father's Day race number 4, all on Alistair Cohen. Are you calling on Sunday, Alistair?
I'm calling on Sunday, and I'll try to keep it together when it goes clear at the 200 Ds.
All I'm saying is bring that one home for us. Race number 5, 2,600 meters. It's a maiden plate, and at the time of recording, number 1 at 3-1. 4 is a scratching now. That was trading at 8-1. 7 at 17-10. 8 at 5-1, and 9 at 5-1. We started off with the banker. This race, Alistair, with all due respect, I looked at the average rating here. It's a 54, and one of them is going to have a chance to win. This looks like an absolute minefield. Some may say, well, you got a 17-10 shot here, D's, number 7, American Grayson, and you got a filly that could be nicely in, carrying 56.5 with number 8, but then you're throwing Wahao Mawing's runner, number 1, Time to Mediate, that's trading at 3-1, Clever Move, claiming the 1.5 kgs. And La Dreamer, well, the form lines, but look at how many chances. I mean, it's an average rating of 54. I think that says it all, does it?
Did you say 17-10, number 7, American Grayson?
That's it, 17-10, number 7. Number 8's at 5-1. I actually didn't want to put you on the spot with that question, but that horse is priced up at 17-10.
So you put me in a quandary here, Dee, because the PA, as I've highlighted twice already, now 3 times, is my suggested bet. And I banked at number 7, American Grayson, in the place Accumulator. But while I was doing this card, just after landing in PE on Friday, it was a nice thing, sort of have breakfast, get to the course, give myself a good hour and a half to go through the card. And while I was going through this race, I said, I'm going to bank American Grayson in the PA, but I cannot possibly bank him in the pick 6. Just because it's so hard, third run, to go from 1,400 meters to 2,600 meters. I mean, even though I've banked him in the PA, I'm a little bit uneasy at doing that, but at least I can take the stance that if a horse is going to go anywhere in this race, it's going to be 7 American Grayson, because the others, as you say, are well and truly in their place. They've shown their colours, and their colours are sadly not very true. They're average horses. So that's my stance with banking number 7, American Grayson. I hope he's not biting off more than he can chew. Tyrone Zaki, as I already said, when his horses go a trip, watch out, because he gets them supremely fit. Muzi Yanni takes the ride as well on number 7, American Grayson. So that's some food for thought too. And just on the quality of opposition, if he can run for, let me just have a look at the course record, 160 seconds. So if he can run for nearly 3 minutes, he's just got to keep it one pace for 3 minutes. He'll win the race. Number 1, Time to Meditate, a very ginger second choice, and a horse that I'll make a case for as being a danger. But, it's not good, Deez. This is not good. This could take a while to call.
You know what, you got me excited after leg number 1 of this pick 6. I'm going to jot some numbers down. When you're giving your suggested bet, I'll possibly call out this pick 6. Okay, we're going to bank at number 10 in the first leg, so we're going to go field here. Is that okay with you?
You know, if you go field, then you're making a case for a lot of moderate horses. I don't know if we need to go field in this race, but then also you got to think, is American Grayson a 17-10 shot? I think not. I just hope that he's ready enough to run into the top 3. It's
okay.
it's a
Process.
you probably
Process.
need to go,
Process.
You know what? You need to go field. You need to go field. No more argument.
Okay, field. Okay, I wanted to just say process of elimination, and I looked at it. Okay, we're going to multiply that by 8 because 4 is a scratching at the time of recording. Then on to race number 6, middle stakes, 2,600 meters. Number 1, Good Counsel is out. 2, White Fang at 4-1. Then we go on to number 4, Opera Swing at 7-1. I've actually taken down the betting for Afrod because I couldn't believe the horse is a 12-1 shot. Number 8, King Judy, the mare, she's at 5-1. 9, Mambo Camtesio is at 4-1. And then I've taken down the betting for a horse that Alistair will remember because we worked alongside each other at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, and that's Captain Chorus. That's trading at 16-1 and 11 over the view at 11-2. Well, let me take your mind. By the way, there's a form update for number 12, Indian War Dance, finished 8th, 6 lengths behind Raffles. That's Tyron Zaki's run-up. Okay, it wasn't too long ago, Alistair. We worked together, Hollywoodbets Scottsville on the 3rd of June, and we both thought that 25-1 looked value, especially for the places on Captain Chorus. And I must admit, you know, having watched the race and having watched the replay, he didn't get the best of luck in running, Alistair.
No, he got no luck at all. That still hurts a little bit, but then Captain Chorus's run on Hollywoodbets Scottsville. And I've put him in again. The scratching number 1, Good Counsel. Good Counsel was in my play, but with him subsequently coming out, I'm now down to 4 horses in the place Accumulator, which obviously reduces the cost. In no particular order, number 2, White Fang, loves the inside track. Look at his record on the inside track. 11 starts for 4 wins and 6 places. So that is 10 out of 11. In the top 4. The only time he missed the top 4 was when coming off a 6-month break over 2,000 meters when carrying top weight. So he is a different animal on the inside track. His last one was fluent when beating Flying First Class. Had Keegan DeMillo throw in the reins at him, he probably wins by double the margin. So number 2, White Fang, huge chance. I can't see him missing the first 4. But then it becomes very complex after that, and down the bottom weights, and number 10, Captain Chorus included, I think they're all live chances. Number 9, Mambo Camtesio, is seriously progressive. His last win, he pulled that out of nowhere because it looked like, to be fair, Breeze Over was given a perfect ride by Keegan DeMello, nearly stole the race. And then there was a stage where number 11, Over to You, looked particularly dangerous as well. But Mambo Camtesio kept his cards close to his chest, powered home, and won like a horse that's just going to get better and stronger the further and the more he goes. So number 9, Mambo Camtesio, I respect. 10, Captain Chorus. After that last run, despite a bad draw here, after that last run, that horse was so close to my radar. There's even a little bit of a sadistic side of me that says, I hope he doesn't win on Sunday so we can have a real go on him next time when there's more in his favour. Hopefully he gets a lightweight and a good draw, and preferably the Vaal or the Turffontein standside track as opposed to the inside track. That would be perfect for number 10, Captain Chorus. But I'm not going to let him run loose here because I hope that he's just not a horse that goes against me. And then number 11, Over to You. I think he's going to win a few races over the staying on the half outs. I think he could be in for a good winter. He's got 4 starts coming from Cape Town and tipped the ball to all of them. Not a horse to take lightly. 11, Over to You. But what is an interesting stat is it will be his 3rd run in June, which is only 18 days old. That's a lot of mileage that Barron Bortons is putting onto him this month.
Okay, you've got 4 runners. So now with the 2 scratchings, it's 11 runners, so we need 5. We go more than 5, then we're out. We got field in the previous leg. So you've got your 4 runners, 2, 9, 10, and 11. I'm going to choose 1, and I'm going to include 5. So 2, 5, 9, 10, 11. Happy with that?
2, 5, 9, 10, 11. You don't want a fraud. You mentioned a fraud when doing the betting.
Yeah, that's the horse, 5. 2, 5, 9, 10, 11.
5, sorry.
Yeah, so 2, 5, 9, 10, 11. That's the horse that I've included. So we got 5 runners there. Happy with that, up?
Happy with that. There we go.
Okay, then we go on to the next race, which is race number 7. Now, the 7th race, it's a Pinnacle Stakes over 1,450 meters, but then you'll just go to the best weighted column and you will know that that doesn't help at all. So, how are they betting? Number 2, Bartoldi, now Samanga Kumalo, that's 33-10. 3 Eye of the Prophet, that's at 9-2. 4 Out of the Darkness, that's at 6-1. 5 Quantum Theory at 4-1. 6 Team Gold at 7-1. And then number 7, Vanderbilt, that is at 9-2. There's quality in this race, Alistair. I mean, there's some proper horses here. Some of them in form, other horses you'd expect to possibly bounce back to their very best against this type of field. And then the horse that really interests me is this horse called Bartholdi, because at first glance, you know, I don't know what form guide the guys are using. You'd think, why are they going 1,450 meters with this fellow? Because he's a sprinter. But if you go, you know, some time back in his career, he's actually won over the distance. And the way he's been racing of late, I think that this could be a smart move from the yard, Alistair.
Correct. He's in my play. Top of my list, number 2. He won in the Grade 1 Golden Sprint at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. Was excellent. He ran second in the race 12 months earlier, but I'll take the stance that the 2023 version was a good deal stronger than the 2022 version. And Bartholdi, does he beat Give Me a Prince? No. But if he didn't run into a little bit of traffic at a crucial stage, he probably gets second again, number 2, Bartholdi. As you say, and never mind the stat that he's won a race over 1450 at this course. You know the old cliche that if you can feature in those 1,200-meter races, Grade 1s at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, then you should be able to go 1,400 meters, possibly even stretching a mile. So I think all of that has got to ring true for number 2, Bartholdi. I think that he's a big chance. He is my top choice in race number 7. But then there's got to be dangers from number 6, 7, Vanderbilt. I think the course is going to suit him down to the ground. Not much came back on, and not much will come back on the winter courses here on the half out during while the grass isn't green. So number 7, Vanderbilt, I'm sure, will turn up with a lightweight, be positively ridden. He could steal it. He'll be dangerous. Put it like this, he'll be a hard horse to peg back. And then number 6, Team Gold, who I think needed the last run behind Vanderbilt, has a valuable 2-kilo swing at the weights. He too is a different horse on the inside track. 3 of his 4 career wins have come on the tight turning course, including the Spring Spree Stakes over 1,200 meters, where he won with ease, beating Sheila. Even though it looks like a quarter of a length, he pulled away in style from a very quick filly on that occasion. So number 16, Gold, has got to go in. As for your pick 6, I don't know how many more you're going to suggest here. I'd definitely throw in number 3, Eye of the Prophet, as back up in the pick 6. But do you have any others?
It's not necessarily, you know, I'm looking at your place accumulator numbers. I don't know, you know, guys got different way of structuring their perms, etc. You know, sometimes you may include a horse in the place accumulator, but you can always eliminate it from the pick 6 just on consistency and maybe lack of confidence from the horse to winning, but you'll know he's going to run a good race. But your 3 horses, you happy with them for the pick 6, 2, 6, and 7?
2, yeah, definitely. They must all go into the pick 6.
Okay, so we've got 9 runners that go to post. So let me get that right, Chad. We've got 9 runners, so we've got space for 1 more. Otherwise, it's going to be the field. So I don't know if we're going to choose between, and I'll hate to make this decision between 3, 4, and 5, because I'm going to choose 5. But if you're suggesting 3, I mean, how can we leave Eye of the Prophet on? I mean, this strike rate of Vinegar and Match It is what catches the eye. She has such a nice rapport with this horse. So, I mean, between 3 and 5, which one would you go for?
I'd go 3, but I don't think we need to go to town and race 8. So I'll be happy to go field here.
Okay, let's go to field there. I'm happy to go to field there. Yeah, that's it. I mean, now I've got my chest out because we got the field, so we're guaranteed of going through, and hopefully it is asterisk that comes through here in race number 7. Okay, now on to race. It's amazing how this game works, you know. You got a guy that's shouting for the banker. You got another guy that's hoping for the worst result. I mean, you don't want to be sitting at the same table. You know, race number 8, this is over 1,600 meters. It's a middle stakes, and the betting. Number 1, Meredith at 7-2. Number 3, Perfect Witness, that is a scratching now. 4, Queen of Shadows at 5-1. 5, Greek Miss at 8-1. Then we go on to 8, African Torrent at 8-1. 10, Climate Control. I've taken out a betting on this horse. 12-1 is the price on that horse. And 11, Caliber Crest, is at 28-10. Yeah, but I've taken out the betting on Climate Control, you know, purely on the fact that the horse, you know, barring that last start, which, you know, I don't know what happened at 2,400 meters, but on the previous form, I find it hard to believe that this horse is not in single fingers, Alistair, number 10.
I've watched him for long enough now, Dees. First of all, I don't think he stayed 2,400 meters last time, but I've been bitten too many times by number 10, Climate Control. So I'm going to let him loose going back to a mile on the back of another rating drop. I think that he just needs a confidence boost. I think he needs the worst possible field to win. Even if he were to carry top weight in that worst possible field, I think that coming against these horses that are all banging at the door who are reasonably well performed, I think he's going to find it tough. I've got 3 horses on the PA, and I think that I'm going to need to rely on you to maybe include 1 or 2 for the pick 6. But 1, 4, and 11, and I don't really see much else. I might have 1 sneaker. I'll be interested to hear what yours is. But number 1, Meridius, despite top weight, he's just a real trier. He's a grinding, lovable son of Canford Cliffs who puts it all on the line. You know that you're going to get a good run for your money, if not winning. He had that horrible habit not so long ago of losing ground at the start, but he's come alive, number 1, Meridius. So I think that he's going to be one of those to really respect. Number 4, Queen of Shadows. When last did Samanga Kamalo ride for Alec Laird? I remember Samanga went through a bit of a dark spell, and Alec Laird brought him back from the jaws of sort of insanity, and Alec put Samanga back on the board. And interesting that he's got a rider, number 4, Queen of Shadows, for Alec here, who's banging at the door. Last time she had a better draw. I'm telling you, she goes much closer to Tipsy Tarragon, who ran a lovely race in the East Coast Radio Tibashina Stakes just over a week earlier. And then number 11, Caliber Crest, who I believe is a step or 2 above the handicapper. Last run behind Zuzan, gave it his all, but Zuzan, with that typical tenacity, got the job done. 3rd run after a rest, peak run. I like the chances of number 11, Caliber Crest. So those are my 3 horses. I think the winner comes from one of those. And then if I don't know what you think of number 6, Barney's Pride. If you say yes, that's the pick 6 inclusion. If you say no, I'm happy to leave it.
I've already written the numbers down. Your 4 numbers, 1, 4, 11, and my 2 numbers, 6 and 10. It's already done. We needed 5 runners
Lovely.
there. More than 5 could have been. That's it. 1, 4, 11, 6, and 10. So let me do a calculation for you before we go into the lucky last. So we got 10, a banker, then we got 8. 8 times 5, which is 40. 40 times 9, which is 360. 60 times 5, which will give us 18. Okay, we're on 1,800 Rand going into the last leg. So we're on to the last leg now, which is race number 9. It's over 1,600 meters. It's a merit-rated 74 handicap, the way they're betting. Number 2, Call Me Master at 7-2. Then we're on to number 5, Wagas at 5-1. We have to go all the way to number 7, Stanley at 7-1. Gregor McGregor, number 8, is at 33-10. And Samanga Kamalo rides. He is plus a half kg. Then Oyster King, Marco van Rensburg is plus a half kg. That's at 6-1. And number 10, which is Follow the Partner. I've written over that. That is not in single figures. And then form update for 11, Silly Fella, beaten 12th, 5.5 lengths by Lulu's Boy. That was last time out on the 13th of June. How are we going to end this off? Our perm is costing 1,800 Rand thus far.
I've got 2 horses here, Dean. I've got 2 and 8. The well-performed and rating drop number 2, Cookie Master, who gets Team Yellow on board, and number 8, Gregor McGregor, who nearly stole it from Nabaneng, and only Samanga Kamalo Magic got Nabaneng across the line from Gregor McGregor last time. The amount of times I've tuned in the race in the last couple of months, and I've been told Gregor McGregor will win, I can't tell you. There's always talk for this horse. And again, last time there was a lot of talk for Gregor McGregor. He nearly stole it. The course is going to be running to suit him. Obviously, you got Pascal Samaray, who can go forward as well, but she seems to have lost a little bit of that spark that she had when she was at her best. So I think if number 8, Gregor McGregor, gets a soft lead, shoots away at the top of the straight, like he tried to do at the Vaal Classic, it's far easier to shoot away on the Turffontein inside track than it is on the Vaal Classic track, then he could be a very difficult horse to peg back. But if he goes too fast, it could set up for a horse like Call Me Master, who comes from off the pace from a deep draw. I'm pretty sure I know what Keegan DeMello is going to be told to do. Last time he had a loose horse to contend with. He didn't necessarily overcome the draw either, and Global Impact beat him pretty soundly. But take that run out of the picture at a few levels higher than this. I think he's got the form to be ready to win. So number 2, Call Me Master, and number 8, Gregor McGregor, the only 2 horses that I really want to know about in this last race.
And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to include you. We're confident in the first leg, and let's go with your 2 horses in the last leg. So we're going numbers 2 and 8 in that last leg. So I'll work things out. I'll read it out. Alistair, have you given a suggested bet for the show, Alistair?
Yep, place Accumulator is my suggested bet, which begins in race number 3. I'll quickly run through the numbers, but you've talked me into a pick 60. I think that's what everyone is really waiting for. But PA starts at 1:10. I've gone 5 and 6 in the first leg, who are Katira and Lady Chatterley. Babanka number 10, the front line. Babanka number 7, American Grayson, which I can't do to myself in the pick 6. Then in the fourth leg, I had number 1, Good Counsel, which is obviously a scratching, but you can keep that in if you want to try and double up with the favourite. I've got number 2, White Fang. I've gone with numbers 9, Mambo Camtesio, 10, Captain Chorus, and 11, Over to You. Then in race 7, leg 5 of the PA, 2, 6, and 7, Bartoldi, Team Gold, and Vanderbilt. Penultimate leg, I've gone 1, 4, and 11, Meridius, Queen of Shadows, and Caliber Crest. And the final leg, 2 and 8, Call Me Master and Gregor McGregor. But now that pick 6 I'm waiting for.
Please, we always want to catch any bet that we take, but I really want this arrival on the Sunday because it was nothing planned. It happened spontaneously as we came to race number 4. It was Alistair's confidence in that first leg, and what a Father's Day gift this will be from the Gallop TV team to you, the valued viewer, the valued punter. Okay, take down this pick 6. Tenor Banker. By the way, it starts at 13:45. That's when you need to get your bet on race number 4. Tenor Banker by the field, where we're multiplying that by 8 at the time of recording. Maybe you can have a look for further scratchings. Then we're going 2, 5, 9, 10, and 11 in the third leg. Then the field at the time of scratchings, there are 9 runners, so we're multiplying that perm out by 9. Then we're going 1, 4, 6, 10, and 11 in that penultimate leg. That'll be 5 runners. And then the last leg, going with Alistair's confidence, he started off with a banker. Hopefully that comes home, just like the 2 horses in the last leg. And to keep the perm down to 360 Rand for 10%, we're just going with 2 and 8 in that last leg. It is thin, it is narrow, it looks like a tough race, but who knows? We could be smiling come race number 9. So that perm costing 360 Rand for a 10% in whatever the pool is going to be on the day, because I suspect on the Sunday, Father's Day, we could get to a sizable pool because it looks like some quality racing, some tough races, and it should be well supported. Alistair, we got a place accumulator that you've given. We've got a joint pick 6 now. It's all systems go for the Sunday.
Shot easier, I hope. Well, there could be a sizable pool because obviously at the standalone Sunday it's not a bad card. We will be less than 2 weeks away from Hollywoodbets Durbanville, so a lot of punters will be tuned in. And yeah, I just hope that we see at the end of the But I actually quite like the chance. That was good fun. Thank you, Dees.
Thanks to Alistair Cohen, and thanks to you, the valued viewer of Gallop TV, from the entire team. Until we meet again, you take care. Salani Gashle.